Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Mr. Chaos. Welcome to a new segment I'm calling the Chaos Club. Essentially, it's going to be an offshoot of the podcast, just giving you my views on stuff that Sal and I haven't covered yet. And I think I'm going to post these on YouTube, maybe even TikTok, kind of as a kind of for them to serve as a go-between. Like if we do a podcast episode and we don't do one the next week because something's going on, the Chaos Club part of the podcast will be kind of as a bridge until the two episodes. That's the purpose. That's what I intend to use it for. So the other thing is, it's not going to always just be sports. It's not going to always just be wrestling. There are going to be times that I want to talk about what I want to talk about. Maybe mental health, maybe marriage, maybe being a dad. I don't know exactly what the boundaries are for this yet because I haven't even discussed it with anybody else. So we will figure that out on the journey, right? Today, we are just going to get into the first edition of the Chaos Club. I want to talk about some NFL, want to talk about some NBA, want to talk about a little bit of wrestling, and then send out a happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and then we'll be out from here. So the first thing I want to talk about is the games that are going on or that are here today. It is Thanksgiving as I'm recording this video. So you got the Packers at the Lions, which I thought was going to be completely different. The last time I looked at the game, the Packers were absolutely dog walking the Lions. I don't know if that's still going on or not, but it was bad the last time I saw the game. And I didn't think it was going to be that way. Jared Goff is a really good quarterback. Aiden Hutchinson, those guys, that team is built to win. And it's built to win in December. In November, December, January, when the important games are starting to happen. So I didn't think this was going to happen, but it's a division game. They always play close. They always play hard. Now, if the Lions, I haven't looked at the score. So if the Lions complete a comeback, it's huge for Detroit. But if they don't, it's huge for Philadelphia because it puts them another game behind us. So we'll see what happens with that. Then you got Commanders at Cowboys. What I want to happen is both teams to lose. It's not possible. And I don't think that the Commanders are going to give Dallas a hard time at all. I think this is going to be a quick Dallas put their foot in Washington's ass, and then they just keep it there for the remainder of how many other quarters they decide to not play with the Commanders. And what I mean by that is, like, Dallas can go in and in the first two quarters score 35 points and then never score again, and it'd be fine, and just concentrate on defense, right? They could do that. I don't think they're going to do that, but we'll find out. The next game, pardon me for a second. Gotta love Cherry Coke. The next game is the Dolphins at the Jets. Now, Eagles lost to the Jets and spanked the Dolphins. I don't think the Jets have a chance of beating the Dolphins at all. But that Jets defense is insane. And if they can pull a Philly and contain Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, it's possible. Now, the other issue that they're having is you have a two-headed attack in Miami, in Raheem Mostert and Devin Achane. So you have to deal with that. Now, what Philly did is we shut down their O-line, and Hassan Reddick ate everything on the edge. If you were running that way, Hassan Reddick there was gonna be issues. So I think the template is there. I don't know if the Jets can execute, but Quincy and Quinnen Williams make a big difference. So we'll see. The other thing, Sunday, Buffalo goes into Philly and plays one of the biggest games of the schedule for both teams. Everybody coming into this game was like, oh, Philly's got this gauntlet, and this gauntlet is there's rough teams, and Philly's gonna lose and it could be hard. And okay, look, our strength of schedule this year is much, much harder than it was last year. It was gonna be like that. You get to the Super Bowl, your schedule gets worse. People are like, okay, this is the competition, we can feed them. So that is not a surprise. What's a surprise is Buffalo hasn't looked like Buffalo, like the super dominating AFC East Buffalo that we've seen, or AFC North, or whichever division they're in. It's the AFC, so I don't care. But those guys are stumbling this year. Josh Allen is starting to look like he's regressed. Stephon Diggs looks super frustrated. And I don't know if their defense is going to hold. Now, if our O-line can pop and separate and we can get DeAndre Swift big runs, I don't think Buffalo stands a chance. The other thing is you got to worry about our two-headed monster right now, passing attack, in AJ and Devontae. That's the thing, like if you lock those two up, Swifty and Jalen will put it on you on the ground. So I guess my original question to myself was, who needs this win more? Is it Buffalo or is it Philly? And for me, it's Buffalo. Jalen and them have put themselves in a 9-1 position, and if they lose, they're 9-2. You know who's a better record than them? Nobody, even if we lose. So you don't necessarily have to win this game. Now, if you lose this game, you absolutely have to beat San Francisco. But if you have the Bills come into your building wearing Kelly Green and you spank that ass, even if you only win by 3, it lightens up what the gauntlet really means for you, right? Like Dallas suddenly becomes less significant. San Francisco becomes less significant. If you go 10-1 and any of those teams lose, like the Lions, we're solidifying our spot in the NFC. So I think the Lions need it. I think the Eagles want it more. Or not the Lions. The Bills need it. I think the Eagles want it more. The next thing, I want to talk about Coach Pop telling the crowd at the Frost Bank Center to stop booing Kawhi. And I think that's soft as shit. I think it's soft as baby shit. Kawhi left San Antonio like a bitch. People in San Antonio are not fans of Kawhi. I shouldn't say he left like a bitch. Like, that's not okay. Kawhi left San Antonio under some not okay circumstances, right? And the people of San Antonio are harboring ill will towards him. Pop, I get it. That was your guy. Y'all want a ring together. I understand. San Antonio does not care. The way you left, the way you asked to be out of San Antonio is a problem. It feels like you didn't want to be here to a lot of the people that are here. So I don't think you can be upset about them asking or them booing you. I just don't. And the last thing I want to talk about before I wrap this up is AEW. So AEW is deciding to go head-to-head with Survivor Series next Saturday. And I get what they're doing. I understand why they're doing it. You don't want to give WWE total market share and their product be the only one that's getting eyes. I understand that. But by purposely running that event on that day, and I would say the same thing if it was WWE running on an AEW pay-per-view. All you're doing, is shitting on the other company, right? Because you have AEW marks, you have WWE marks who are split and who are going to be loyal to their brand. It's how it happens. So I don't think they can win this fight with WWE, especially now with WMEI or whatever the company's name is. You can't compete. Like, the Khans obviously are billionaires. you can't beat a corporation like that, because now you have WWE and UFC creative. Like, you have people who, not that UFC has any input on WWE, but what I'm saying is you have a company who has enough money to own the UFC and WWE. How do you compete with that? You don't. And AEW, all the reports are saying that they're losing fans and attendance anyways. So why would you do this to yourself? I don't know, guys. That's it for the Chaos Club this week. You know who I am. I'm Mr. Chaos. Look, you can find all of our socials on our YouTube channel. Give us a like. Give us a follow. Leave me a comment if you agree or disagree with anything that I said. You can find our merch store. All of that stuff will be in our bio. So give us a follow. Give us a subscription and let us know how we're doing. All right, guys.